model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Revell, and here is my finished build of the AMT 64 Chevelle Craftsman Series Plus kit. And I had a lot of fun doing this one and really, enhanced it, but we'll get into that in a second. But at the same time, it's a lot of fun for me to research these cars as, I am a Chevelle owner. We have a 71 Chevelle, as I've mentioned before, and it's been, talked about a couple of times. As a matter of fact, for those that may not know, that car running in the very opening sequence of the Muscle Car Modeler, that is the Chevelle running. As much as I wish it was actually the big block Mopar in my wagon, but that's not running yet. But anyway, when it comes to the Chevelle, 64 was the inaugural year. And it's fun to think about how much Chevrolet was expanding, and GM in general. They had so much market share. And this was at the time where they were getting threatened to be broken up and everything. But they were really expanding their lineup, and it's really fun to think about. Like in 1959, the Chevrolet brand really only had three if you count the trucks, like three lines. They had the full-size cars, they had the Corvette, and then they had the trucks, and that was virtually it. Then in 1960, they launched the Corvair, which was a car that quite an interesting car, and it was marketed towards some of the British and import cars, and poorly marketed, but I don't want to focus too much on that one. And then in 62, they launched the Nova. So the Nova came out, and that was a more compact car. And so now they had a couple more lines, and they just kept expanding. And in 64, they launched the Chevelle, their mid-size line. There was a little bit of a controversy on some of the things that were going on, like the Nova. 63, they had the convertible, and they also had the Super Sport package was available on the Nova. No V8 engine, but that was 63. And some of the SS parts were kind of carried over from the Impala to the Nova, like the hubcaps, even the Chevelle. In 64, the Chevelle's SS hubcaps are the same as the 64 Impalas. They're the same hubcaps. So, but when the Chevelle was launched in 64, the Nova, the convertible was canceled. No more Nova convertibles for 64. And also, initially, the SS package was not available on the Nova, but it was available on the Chevelle. And with enough complaining and grief from the buying public, the Nova Super Sport became available. I don't remember the dates on that, but I did look into it. But the Chevelle SS was available initially. Now, they did have, some growing pains that go along with it. So, the SS package had nothing to do with the motor. It was strictly a trim package. This extra piece of chrome here, extra chrome moldings, the hubcaps with the spinners. With 64, the spinners became a safety thing, because those spinners spinning around, they could catch somebody's foot or leg or whatever. So, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration kind of banned those. So that's when knockoffs were starting to disappear, and then spinners were disappearing, but they weren't fully illegal. They were just being frowned upon. They actually became no longer safe. The end of 66 for 67, they became mandatory. You could not have them. But that's our government looking out for us and everything. So I don't know of any actual stories of that actually happening. But the trim package on the SS, it got all these SS emblems. And one of the main things was that center console and bucket seats. A little bit more upscale interior, because it was basically just a sport image package, just to make the car much more appealing and everything. So it's kind of funny reading about all of that. But engines were available in the Chevelle. You could get up to the 220 horsepower 283 V8 engine initially in it. The 327s did come out for 64, but they came out much later. And I'm not sure if they showed up in the Nova, the 327s. There's a lot of confusion. And then there's reading about the 327s in these. The 250 horse 327 came out in March of 64. So a number of those were produced. The 300 horsepower 327, that didn't come out until June. So really very end of production. And it's said that they're not sure how many were actually made or if any were made. There really aren't any documented known ones that I could find. There's a lot of them that are tributes or clones, or it can't be verified that it's in there because the VIN doesn't tell you what it's got. It pretty much will tell you it's an SS or not an SS by the VIN on these cars, but it will tell you if it's a 6-cylinder or an 8-cylinder, but that's about it. So when I was building this, I was going for the top dog. I wanted to make the convertible out of it, and I wanted to put the 327 in it. So before I get into too much of that, we're going to take this outside and look at it in the sun, and we'll continue on. Well, here we are out in the Arizona sun with the 64 Chevelle SS convertible here, and with that goldwood yellow paint here. This color, I really love this color on this car. I don't know if I'd actually own it in this particular color. I like my blues and stuff, and even whites, but this color just stunning color. I really like it. But yeah, tough choice for me is to paint something yellow. But black interior. Can't imagine actually driving around with a black interior in the sun here in Arizona, but my station wagon has black interior as well. So, and all the knobs are actually chrome. Like this entire dash is all chrome, although it's all chrome plastic, which is a little different. It still gets hot, but not the same as actual metal chromed, which my station wagon, everything is chrome. Which, that's the Arizona sun for you. But looking at the sun and how it's just shining off of that chrome, the back here, the bumper. What a sharp car with the SS package and all the extra trim on it and everything. VA badges there. Driving this thing around. Can't imagine this car with that 300 horse 327 in it. That'd be one bad boy. And even though GM made some even more powerful 327s, especially in 64, I believe they had was a 365 horse 327 in the Corvette that was injected, and a 345 horse carbureted 327 in the Corvette. But yeah, none of those made it into the Chevelle, but could have been an easy transplant, even just a cam swap. If that, I'm not really sure the full internal differences. I believe they all had the camel hump heads and the 202 valves. Anyway, this thing's just looking sharp, but and then the polished out bare metal foil emblems there, they just really stand out. But we'll head back inside and continue on. Wow, how did that look in the sun? I bet you that looked really good. But this is in goldwood yellow paint, a 64 Chevelle color. Now the name is 64. I'm not sure of the color. It kind of reminds me of butternut yellow, but I painted my 67 Camaro butternut yellow, and it's a little bit duller compared to this one. This one's just a tad bit brighter when I put the two side by side, even though they're both painted with scale finishes paint. I just knew I had to do this one in this color. I just always liked the 64 Chevelle's body in this color, so I had to do it in that color. So I always knew one of them had to be this color. And I preferred the convertible because the brochure, this car is a convertible in a brochure in this color. So I was pretty much duplicating that car. But this is a full-on kit bash, as it is not exactly how AMT issues the kit. But AMT did some really nice things. I do like the fact that it's got clear lenses for the headlights and the turn signals now. The license plate's a little wide and narrow in the front. It's kind of awkward. Other than that, the hood is molded open, so you can put an engine in it if you want to. Of course, I hacked the entire roof off, made it a convertible, but that was really easy. And here's the rear license plate and all the trim on the back, and it gives you all 4 lenses in red and all 4 lenses in clear, so you can do it. Backup lights were optional, so some of them could have all 4, but it seems like all the SSs had backup lights. Seemed like it was a lot of base models I've seen that had all 4 red lenses, as far as trying to narrow that down. Making it a convertible, I used the boot here from the AMT 65 GTO. That one fit really nicely. And I made these dog legs in here, which I ground them out of the GTO and from the same interior tub. I made them fit this. One little error on this, and I'm going to point it out, as I noticed a little too late. If you look, if it'll camera will focus, and the original kit was this way too. There's only 3 pedals. So there's the parking brake, the really wide brake pedal, and the gas pedal under there. But there's a 4-speed console. But the difference between a 4-speed console and an automatic console is pretty significant. So I decided I was going to leave it alone instead of trying to make an automatic console. Because when I put this engine in it, I did put an automatic in it. And I put a 327 in it. So, and this entire chassis here, this is from a Revell's 65 Chevelle Z16, which is a big block chassis. It has a 12 bolt as far as the rear end goes, but the bolts aren't really there. So it's kind of hard to tell anyway. And I left the rear sway bar out because, you know, the 64 wouldn't have had the sway bar. But the exhaust pretty much fit. The tailpipes fit. I tweaked them just a little bit so they don't hang so far under. And then just a little bit of work there. You can check out my previous videos and use the wheels that came. So the wheels and tires, as far as the hubcaps and tires, those are right from the AMT kit. But the inner wheel backs, I used from the donor Revell 64 Impala. The lowrider wheels have the smaller circle and they fit these tires perfectly. I did shave them a little bit to get the wheels to tuck in a little bit. So I did some sanding to move the wheels in because they stuck out a little too far. And they glued right to the pins from the Revell pins because they're Revell wheel backs and Revell pins. They pretty much worked beautifully. And then dropping the motor in there, I've been kind of putting this off on purpose. But there's the motor. And that's from that 64 Impala also. Other than I did change the exhaust manifolds out for ones that are much more correct for the 64 Chevelle. There's a rear dump instead of center dump. But the heater hoses, radiator hoses and all that, and the fan, those are all from that Impala kit. So I added all those parts. So those aren't scratch built. The decals on the 327 valve covers, that was there. And the one on the front of the air cleaner, that was all in that Revell kit as well. So it all pretty much dropped in there. There was a bit of work here to get the engine compartment stuff in here. Most of it not too bad, but came out beautifully and just shows beautifully. So really happy with everything and how it came out and how everything fitted. So this was a fun one to build. And, you know, super pleased. It completes my Chevelle collection. As, you know, I didn't have a 64 built up yet, but I had 65 all the way to 72. So I've got them all now. But I've got others to build as well. Still have a resin hardtop, the wagon, the El Camino for 64, and many other Chevelles also in my stash to build. So I'm not done building, of course, but at least I've got one of everything done. And the hood fits really nicely. I did a little bit of trimming because once I had this glass put in there, sun visors were just from my parts box, something that I had cut from another convertible. So glued those in there and then foiled the top. The whole top piece is one stainless piece of trim for the convertible top to seal against, but the paint does come up the side and everything. So it was fun researching this. One last thing was, there's two different emblems. The model kit comes with this one, which I think is the early V8 emblem. And then the other cross flag ones I see on them. So they're back and forth on what references I could see, and no real mention on what's actually correct and if the 327 car would have the wide flags or that V emblem. But definitely that's the V8. But I think that's the early emblem and the later emblem was changed. But just couldn't get any confirmation on that. But again, really, really happy with this build. And it went really well for as much stuff as I was kit bashing together. It seemed like everything just fit really well. And I also want to thank our sponsor, Hobby Nut Models, for providing the AMT 64 Chevelle SS kit here that I started with, along with the Revell 64 Impala SS kit that I used the engine tranny and a lot of the engine compartment parts and wheelbacks from. The Revell 65 Chevelle Z16 I procured locally, a number of those, although Mark at one time he did offer me one because I was looking for one to do as a convertible. And then some other local friends helped me. Scotty helped me with the convertible boots, gave me a couple of those, and one of them's in here along with the interior from the 65 GTO. So thank you, Scotty. And you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate it. And you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.